Alrighty, so just full disclaimer here at the beginning of the video. This is gonna seem a lot more thrown together than usual because CapCut, while it has been unbanned, just got unbanned today, so I didn't really have time to put together a whole video for you, and I would like to keep as true to my upload schedule as possible. And here we're already a day and 16 hours late as of recording this, so it's just gonna be a little thrown together, but it'll be fine. So, what exactly am I here to tell you about or talk to you about today? Well, you've seen the thumbnail and you've read the title. Today, it's time to talk about lucid dreaming. Now, if you don't know what exactly lucid dreaming is, it is the simple act of becoming aware while you're asleep, sort of like, and it's a natural thing. It's just, very rare in the completely natural realm. And there are ways where you can sort of tune your brain, basically, so that you will have these lucid dreams more often. Now, I only started doing this a couple months ago, and already I have seen the effects full force. Positive and maybe some negatives. And I would just like to talk to you about that today. Off the script. Of course, this is going to be a little bit more messy, but of course, it's fine. So, first off, how do you lucid dream? Now, there are hundreds of videos out there about this subject. How to lucid dream, best lucid dreaming techniques. So, I don't want to take away from the work all of those other talented creators have put in, but I just want to tell you the simplest way. And that is called mild or mnemonic-induced lucid dreaming. Basically, it's like trying to remember to do something. Like, say, remember to clean your room, or remember to take out the trash, remember to cook dinner, remember to do whatever it may be. You basically just say, I will remember to wake up in my dream, sort of. And it's kind of weird at first. It will feel odd every time you don't get a result, because it won't really feel that special. It doesn't stand out that much, but it does work, and I can attest to it. And honestly, what it really boils down to, all of these techniques, all of these things, I mean, some of them, sure, are different than others, but most of them are just setting the intention to dream lucidly. SSI'd, dialed, wild, which are all different terms you can learn in a different video. They are all different forms of setting the intention to lucid dream, of course, with varying degrees of accuracy. But that's just the way I see it personally. And as someone who's been having lucid dreams about 1 in every 3 days without using a technique at all, I feel like it is really just about setting that intention to lucid dream. Now, on to question number 2 would be exactly why should you lucid dream? And this one's very interesting because there's no real reason to, but there's no real reason not to either. I mean, sure, you could say, I don't want to invest the time learning about it. I mean, it's not that hard to learn about. I learned about it in my spare time. Usually I was doing something else while just having either podcasts, videos, audiobooks, whatever it may be, over on a second monitor over on the side while I was still getting other things done. So you can certainly learn about it while doing other things. It doesn't require your full focus, and if you don't want it to, it does not require any technique, any sort of sleep schedule change. It doesn't require any of that. And those are common misconceptions. I feel like people will say it's optimal to get lucid dreams this way, and this way. But honestly, it's very individual. You have to try what works for you. And of course, I can only speak as one person, and so can all of those other creators. They can only speak of one person, and maybe the people they've heard their experiences from, although it's not the same as experiencing them. But for ultimately, why should you? It's just interesting. It's interesting to... dream recall by itself is interesting. You can see what your brain invents every single night. The second you start dream journaling, you get your dream recall up, it is astonishing how put together some of your dreams are. Now, some of them they're scatterbrained, there's no real storyline, but some of them are very moving almost. They feel like a good movie. You may wake up feeling very emotional. And I know that is an experience that most of us can share. And lucid dreaming is a way to notice it, and if you get talented enough at lucid dreaming, to actually control it. So yeah, that's gonna be the next sort of talking point, is what exactly do you do in a dream? So say you became lucid in a dream. You are conscious that you are dreaming while you are still asleep. Now, there are no dangers to lucid dreaming. I don't care what anybody else says. Just, I would do in my first lucid dream, just revel in the fact you're dreaming and want to get back there next time. My first lucid dream was all of 5-10 seconds, and it was simply me astonished that I was in a dream. It was simply me swiveling my head. Even though the dream was slowly collapsing, it felt amazing just to be there, just to be in this unconscious state using my mind. And then I fell back into another dream shortly after. And I feel like that's all it has to be. It's just so amazing to be sort of inside your head. You can do whatever you want. And it's just, this is why I lucid dream. And you can do it for whatever you want. After you get talented enough, you can control your dreams. It doesn't require as much talent as people say. All it requires is confidence. A lot of people will talk about, oh, I can't control my dreams because I just haven't done it enough. And while that's partially true, dreams are based on your expectations. Which means if you expect to not be able to control your dreams, you'll never be able to. But if you say this is entirely based on my confidence, and if I know I can control my dreams, and then I do so, it's a given. But of course, people often fall into the rabbit hole of doubt in this particular subject where they're like, oh, well, can I control my dreams? Like, I didn't that one time. That doesn't mean anything. That maybe means your brain was somewhere else, that you couldn't quite rope in your subconscious. It's not your fault. Simply the rest of your fault. That kind of sounds weird. But and then it ultimately becomes a plaything. It's a toy you can use for a number of reasons, whether it's just to have fun. You can go flying, you can do whatever you want. Although I've personally not done anything too dramatic, I've experienced dreams in more of a first-hand experience, in more a conscious experience, and even just that makes the dream so much more valuable. It makes it feel so much more real. And although people are talking about how dreams can be realer than real life, and I personally haven't seen that, haven't felt that, but I could see where they are coming from, because it makes your dreams feel real when you know you're dreaming. And I know that kind of sounds weird. When you know your dreams are fake, they feel more real, but it is honestly the way it is. And of course, these are different for everybody. I've lucid dreamed, again, a couple of times, but nothing too dramatic. I'm not like omni-lucid or anything. But I have really experimented with it. And that's another thing you can do. You can talk to your subconscious. I mean, you do it unconsciously all the time. Every time you talk to somebody in a dream, that's you talking to your subconscious, even if it's just a small part and it doesn't really give you a cohesive answer. You can talk to yourself. You can see all of these things. You can ask dream characters for advice, which is ultimately the best. You can create persistent realms. You can do a bunch of things, and you can honestly form relationships. I remember in my first actually substantial lucid dream, it would be second overall, I had like 3 separate types of dreams in the lucid dream where it molded to another. And I remember at the end of, not the end, it was towards the beginning of the first lucid dream, I was given a key to this guy's house. It was a weird pendant with a live bee on it, and it was quite the odd thing to give me. But I know that now there is some sort of relationship held somewhere in my mind that if I ever come into a dream and find that pendant and use it, I will go back to that room. And so I just find that interesting. You can invent these whole stories, these whole worlds that you can come back to, and it's one of the most interesting things I have ever gone into. Now, let's talk about the dangers of lucid dreaming. Now, as I said before, there is no inherent danger. You're not putting your life at risk. Mirrors are perfectly fine. There is no such thing as a lucid nightmare. Those are just some simple talking points. But there is one thing I really want to stress is that lucid dreaming, the best side effect, well, not the best, the only side effect I've seen is it makes you truly question what your mind is capable of. It makes you, honestly, it's made me personally go on a complete spiritual journey that I'm still trying to end. But for other people, it may do other things. It may lead you to a real dark place where you think this very pessimistic worldview. Because that's what lucid dreaming ultimately does. It puts you in your own head, quite literally, and it makes you really think about the things around you, or at least it has to me. So, if you do want to give lucid dreaming a try, I would suggest taking advice from the creators that have already made hundreds of videos on this topic. They're mostly all amazing. And again, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. It's very, very personal. If anything, it's the most personalized skill you could possibly learn. So that has been the video. If you are interested, there's other places to look at. If you do like this content, you like my voice talking at you, you can check my video where my channel where there's at least 100 videos of just me talking. I am streaming now, not daily, but a lot, maybe twice daily that I'm off school. Of course, that will all change after the polar vortex comes through. But I will be streaming. Usually Terraria. Whole bunch of stuff, though. The ARG, it is being worked on. Same with Oak's story. But I just have a lot on my plate. I am so close to finishing the rough draft of my first book. I am like a matter of pages away from it. So that's really taken a lot of my focus. This whole debacle with the TikTok ban and the CapCut ban lasting longer was a little annoying, judging by the fact it's a video editing software. Why would you ban that? Don't know. Not to get political, but it's just something I noticed. This is an unedited, one take, just slap some video game gameplay on top of it. It's not what I typically do on this channel. Although, if you like it more, please let me know in the comments below. If you did like this video, be sure to check out my hundreds of others. Maybe consider leaving it a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys down in the comment section.